and I was playing 20 hours straight. Like I went to a class at 9 a.m. like a zombie after gaming till 7 a.m. and probably haven't showered for like 2 days. I thought I was just passionate about gaming. I thought everyone did this. Hey everyone, so this is gonna be a relatively lower energy video, and hopefully I don't need to do too much editing for this. I probably don't really care about the view for this one. It's more like an off topic for this channel. And today I want to share something I never really talked about in this channel, which was my video game addiction back in the days. And it actually took me years to really call it this way, like using this term addiction, because for the longest time I kept telling myself I was just into video games. It was just a hobby. I just like video games. And that's what we all say, right? It's actually very funny because if you're one of my older viewers or subscribers from like last year or like even from years back, you might notice that I started making gaming videos. Like there are a few Overwatch and League of Legends montage on my channel. Like that's my first few videos on the channel. And then after like a 6-7 years gap, I haven't made anything. And then all of a sudden, I became this like serious guy talking about career and English stuff. And actually, for quite some time, I find it really hard to share this, not only on social media, but also with people in real life, like new friends I made. Because that's about a phase in my life where I feel like the deepest shithole, to be honest. Also, back in the days, I thought video game was actually a very cool thing to say. Like it's pretty cool if you're telling people that you're good at video games or like you have some high rankings and stuff. And then now I feel like I got to a point where not only I don't play as much, but also I stop associating myself with this term video games. And let me just start from the beginning. So I think growing up in China, video game has always been this big thing for most guys at school. Like this is just a large part of what everyone's talking about, and everyone's doing it. For me, I was just another kid that's very into video games until the point I moved abroad, which was kind of overwhelming at the time. You know, new country, new environment, all the schoolwork, all the new systems there I was not used to. It was just too much for me at the time, I feel like. And video game felt like an easy way out. And also this was back in 2016, 2017, where it was the first 2 years of Overwatch coming out. And if you game or if you play those games, you know what I'm talking about. And then I remember during my senior year, which was my last year in university, I was binging video games like crazy. I was doing schoolwork, finishing exams, and then spending pretty much most rest of my time just playing Overwatch and League of Legends. Which looking back now, I don't think it was because I was intrinsically motivated or interested in video games per se, but it's more like a way to take over the control of my life. It was like it was coming from the sense of I was deprived for so many years, and this is just a way to make up for it, and I'm gonna take it all back at once. And then for the longest time, I've been telling myself it was just a hobby, you know, not a big deal. Everyone around me played. It felt normal. But then what I didn't realize was it was becoming a bigger part of my life. And during those times, Overwatch, League of Legends, these don't feel like games anymore. It was more like where I lived because I spent so much time on there. And it was where I kind of built this whole virtual world online. That was the place where I was respected. People want me on their team. They liked me. And that was a place I thought I was making some real connections.
Oh, nice.
哎，
整他。
Also, I was building a lot of my self-worth on those virtual things. It's like my KD, my win rate, my ranking, my elo, you know, all those stats. That's kind of like my whole resume or like persona that I have online where I deeply care about those things. And I remember during one of the winter breaks, I was playing 20 hours straight, like every single day. And then what ended up happening with all those virtual success was the better I got online, the better I felt online, the worse I felt in real life. It's like I wasn't building any real skills or moving forward in life. And then the real wake up call happened. And this was the moment I actually start to feel this fear and real anxiety. It was because of this natural human tendency to connect with the world, the reality, and also with others, with other real human beings. That was also the moment I realized as a guy, there is absolutely no way I'm getting any intimacy or physicality from all those online attention. It's like all those things I've built virtually inside of a screen, no one really cared because none of that was real. And that was the time I started to get myself out of my house, talk to more people, and traveled, going to different events. And I did ended up meeting a few people that I just naturally gravitated towards. And those are some of my good friends back then. And these are actually people with real experiences, real stuff going on in their life. And even though I no longer talk to some of them or kind of lost contact with some of them, I think some of these friends, they did change my life without even knowing it. And honestly, they changed my life just by existing, just by like living their life and then kind of make me see it. And I think the worst thing actually was I didn't realize I was so addicted until I lost so much time. It's like I thought I was just really into my hobby and I thought everyone else was doing it too until someone actually showed me what living without a cage looks like what living free actually looks like. At least I made that realization a few years back. And these days, my priorities and my drivers is mostly just real growth, real connections, and maybe building something that actually matters in the world, outside of a game lobby. And these days, I might still game occasionally, but I just don't treat them as seriously as I used to. Anyways, that's my story. Maybe it's yours too. Maybe it's happening. Maybe you're still telling yourself that this is just a hobby. Either way, I want to share this. So that's all for today. I hope you like it and leave a comment and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next.